What is going on, YouTube? Welcome to the Living Freed channel. My name is Tyler Freed, and in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you some of the things that I do to maximize my time as an over-the-road truck driver, how I get the most miles that I possibly can, and just how I pretty much don't waste my time while I'm out here over the road. So if you're new to trucking or you're somebody that's looking at getting into trucking, really watching this video till the end is really going to help you out with maximizing your time out over the road, 100%. If you want to make the most money you possibly can, then you need to watch this video. And why am I making this video? Well, I am because I got asked by a subscriber to make a video on trip planning and how to manage your time, and can you please make some videos about, or for rookie truck drivers in particular, to help them out. And that is who this video is for. So if you're watching this, this video is for you and all the other new people as well. So, but I'm gonna explain it to you from my perspective and just how I do things. Everybody does things differently, but I can almost guarantee you that if you listen to some of these tips, you will 100% improve your productivity as a truck driver. 100% you will. But I do want to give credit though to the person that I learned these tips from, and that is Trucker Brown. I don't want to take credit for this advice because I did learn it from another YouTube truck driver. For those of you that don't know who he is, he's really big in the trucking YouTube space, and that is who I pretty much learned these tips from, but I'll be sharing my perspective on them and how I do them. So again, if you're new to the channel, I appreciate you for clicking on the video. I will make it short, sweet, and till the point, but just make sure you stay tuned till the very end. Again, if you're new to trucking, you got to watch this. So I'm going to get right into it. So number one, what is the first thing you need to know? It's very simple. Just keep that left door closed. It's very simple, right? You only want to stop at most 3 to 4 times a day, okay? You have a 14-hour on-duty clock. You have 11 hours to drive within that 14-hour period. You have to take one 30-minute break. After you start your clock and you start driving, you got to take a 30-minute break after 8 hours of driving, okay? So before that 30-minute break, I like to ideally only stop twice at the most before that 30-minute break. Ideally, I only want to stop once. So if I start my day, I drive for 3 or 4 hours, and then I stop, I get some coffee, or it's my fuel stop and I need to stop anyway. I fuel up, I get some coffee, go to the bathroom, and then I'm gonna run after that 3 or 4 hours. I stop after that little break, and I only want to take, if I'm not fueling, if I'm fueling, it'll take longer. If I'm not fueling, I'll just stop at a rest area. I'll just pull in there, go to the bathroom. It'll take me less than 8 minutes to do that. If I have to fuel, it'll obviously take longer. But after that little stop, I will run about 3 to 4 hours after that until my 30-minute break, ideally. If I have to go to the bathroom like one time in between that, okay, I'll stop and go to the bathroom. But that's it, 1 to 2 times before that 30-minute break. And then I take my 30-minute break, okay, by that 8-hour point. After that 30-minute break, I want to run all the way until I'm ready to stop, ideally, all the way. So really, at most, throughout a drive day, I only want to stop 3 times, ideally 3 times, that's it, all day, or 4, right? Give an extra stop in there for an extra bathroom break. That's what I want to do. Those are on the days, though, that I'm just driving. Now, obviously, if you're having to deliver or pick up, it's going to be a lot different than that. But those are on my drive days. That's what I generally like to do, okay? Where do I like to stop for the night? This is a big one. Not stopping at truck stops saves you a lot of time. Ideally, I only like to stop at a truck stop to get a shower and fuel, and that is it. I don't like to stay at truck stops. I don't like to take my breaks at truck stops. Why? Because they take a lot more time to get in and out of. I like to stop at rest areas or those pull-off truck parking areas. They don't even got a facility. That's where I like to stop. Also, another thing too is if you can sleep at a shipper or a receiver, you do that. You do that. Why? Because if you sleep at a shipper, if you get there the night before and you're getting loaded in the morning, right? You don't even have to start your clock until you're loaded. You can back up to the dock or wait until the morning for them to give you a dock door, and you don't have to waste your 14-hour clock after you, or right, you don't have to waste your 14-hour clock by parking like 30 minutes away and then getting there and then waiting a couple hours. You're already there. You don't got to start your clock at all until you're loaded and ready to go. Or you're unloaded. It could be a delivery where you do that, right? But ideally, sleeping at shippers and receivers is amazing, and then sleeping at rest areas is better. I think you get better sleep. You also save time. You're like, okay, well, how do you get a shower in? A lot of times, I'll get a shower in on my 30-minute break. I like to do showers usually before like 1 o'clock. Why? Because it's easy to get in, get out, right? I can do my 30-minute break, get a shower, there's plenty of parking, and then after I get that shower in and that 30-minute break in, I can run my clock down to the wire, because all I'm going to do is look for a rest area. It's a lot easier to get parking at a rest area. Truck stops fill up faster than rest areas. Here's another thing. So those are a few tips, right? So keeping the left door closed, not stopping a whole lot, not stopping at places that waste a lot of time, not stopping for a long time. Those stops that you do throughout that drive day, except for the 30-minute break, need to be 10 minutes or less, unless you're fueling. Obviously, it's going to take more time to fuel, but I already said that. I just want to be clear, though. But another thing is driving at night. And what do I mean by at night? I prefer to drive at night. Why? Because it's easier, there's less traffic. Also, when I go to stop for the night, it's early in the day, and so it's easy to find parking, and I can also run my clock out way further than if I run late into the day. Why? Because I know that, hey, if I started driving at 1 in the morning, then I will have to stop when? At 3 in the afternoon. And I know that most truck stops and rest areas have open parking at 3 versus stopping at 7 or 8 at night. All truck stops are pretty much full by 5 o'clock, and then the rest areas start to fill up at 7, 7:30, 8 o'clock, depending on where you're at, right? So those are just things you have to think about, right? You just have to think about, okay, what part of the country am I in? If I'm running the east, I get told all the time, oh, there's no miles, all that traffic in the east. If you're running east of Chicago, you should have a night shift, right? Now, west is a lot easier, unless you're running California. But the east of Chicago, man, you want to be starting your days no later than 3 in the morning. That's my opinion. A lot of people don't like doing that. It's hard to train your body to get up that early and run through the night. It really is. I totally get that, but that's how the money's made. You can run east of Chicago and still make 3,000 plus miles a week, but you're going to have to keep that left door closed, not stop at truck stops and waste all your time there. You're going to have to run at night, all those things. Also, another thing, communicating with your dispatcher. When you're on a load, you can let your dispatcher know, hey, I'm going to be ready and available for the next load tomorrow at this time, and say it's the day before. Let's say I'm delivering tomorrow in Louisville, Kentucky, and my appointment's at 8 o'clock. I know that it's going to take 2 hours before I'm ready to go and pick up my next load, so I'll be ready at 10 a.m. And I can let my dispatcher know, say, hey, do you think it's possible to hook me up with a pre-plan for pickup after I'm done delivering tomorrow? And he can be like, hey, let me get with the load planner and check things out. Let me see what's on the board, right? And 9 times out of 10, if you communicate that the day before, they will put you on a load. Because if you don't communicate that, though, they're not even thinking about you until you get unloaded most of the time. They're not. And you aren't getting ahead of the game. You're not going to be put on that load that you could have been on if you just spoke up the day before and let them know when you were going to be ready. Because when you do that, they know, okay, he wants another load. He wants to be secure with another load. So just communicating, a simple tip like that, especially at Crete, it's like that. I did that at Millis. And Millis didn't really have like as many pre-plans as Crete, but I still did that. I would still call my dispatcher and say, hey man, do you think there's anything you could set me up with before tomorrow morning? or before the end of the day today, so I know what I'm doing, right? And 9 times out of 10, most dispatchers, they will hook you up because they know that you're a runner. They know that you're thinking ahead. They know that you're planning. They know that you're out here to work and you're not out here to mess around, right? Now, not always will they give you a load because maybe freight is slow at the time, but 9 times out of 10 they will if you do that, 100%. So look, it's very simple, guys. When you're out here, be out here to work, right? And try to think of ways to make your life easier. Running at night, keeping the left door closed, not stopping a whole lot, not stopping for a long period of time, sleeping at shippers, sleeping at receivers, just doing anything and everything to max out your time, save your time. Another thing too is the sleeper berth thing. When you stop for the night, you set an alarm for 9 hours and 40 minutes. Why? That way you're up 20 minutes before that 10-hour break is up. You can go inside or get up, make coffee, get whatever, just wake up. Just sit there, and some people need 30 minutes just to wake up and be alert. So get up 20, 30 minutes before your 10-hour break. Maybe go take a shower in the morning. Do whatever you got to do to get ready. But as soon as that 10-hour break is up, you go on duty and you are leaving after 10 minutes. After that pre-trip, you're leaving. You're ready to hit the road. That's one of the biggest things, is not staying in sleeper berth for a really long time. I'm just trying to think of all the things. I'm not doing it in any particular order, but these are a lot of the things you need to know. Is keep the left door closed. Don't stay in the sleeper berth for more than 10 hours. Park at the best places to save the most amount of time. And yeah, man, just don't waste your time out here. It's really that simple. And run at night so you don't have to deal with traffic all the time. Those are the things that I do personally, and they work. And I'm able to average over 3,000 miles a week by doing what I'm talking about. Do I get 3,000 miles every single week? No, it's an average, right? Some weeks you may get 2,600 miles, but on those really big weeks, you may get 3,500 miles. And if you look at it over the course of the last 4 weeks, if you do these things for 4 weeks, watch your mileage improve. I can almost guarantee you that. If you listen to some of the things I'm talking about in this video, your productivity will improve. Communicate with your dispatcher. Don't yell at them. Don't get frustrated. That's rule number 1. Never yell at your dispatcher or cuss them out. He will not give you good freight after that. You communicate. You work with them. You say, hey, do you have any pre-plans available? If they haven't sent you a pre-plan yet, ask them, do you have any available? It's the way you word things. It's the way you communicate things. That's how you get things done. You don't got to be mean about it. So communicate, be respectful, manage your time like I just talked about when you are on a load, and you will improve your productivity immensely. These things work for me. These things have worked for 5 years now as an over-the-road truck driver. And believe me, and I give all the credit too to Trucker Brown. I want to be clear, because genuinely I do. I'm not trying to get popular by bringing his name up. No, I'm not. But genuinely, this advice has made it to where I think I've made a lot more money as a truck driver than I would have if I didn't know these things. So that's it for this video. I hope I was able to help some of you out by giving you some of the things I do to max out my time out here as an over-the-road truck driver. Make sure you stay tuned for the next video if you liked this one. And if you did like this one, make sure you like, you subscribe, and yeah, stay tuned for the next video. I'm going to post one about trucker money. I told you I would do one about trucking every week and one about personal finance every week. And so on Thursday or Friday, I plan on putting a video up about personal finance. And so I hope you stay tuned for that. God bless. Thank you for watching, and peace out.